Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Morgan Ledge. Before we begin, don't forget guys, like and subscribe. Yeah. Okay, first thing I'm going to kick off with for today's football news is Cole Palmer has been told by Enzo Maresca that he will be out for 6 weeks. In a statement, Enzo Maresca said, "I was wrong about Cole Palmer returning before the international break. Unfortunately, he needs to be out for 6 more weeks. This is the update." He said, "We try to protect Cole as much as we can. It is important when he comes back, he's fully fit, but the medical staff are not. Magicians, you need 6 weeks, and we hope 6 weeks will be enough. A problem we need to see step by step, week by week. He looks very good, relaxed, trying to recover." Obviously, big blow, big player for Chelsea. That's going to be very exciting for that match this weekend against a really strong opposition of Nottingham Forest, where Ange Postecoglou has continuously been pushed today after potential rumours are already circulating that he could be fired, with some pundits even saying on Talk Sport that he could be sacked before Halloween. When asked about these questions, he said, "The story always ends the same. Me and a trophy." Pretty iconic. He said last season with Spurs, season 2 is always bad, but season 3 is even better, and then got sacked. I think it's pretty much the same there, but obviously he did have a really good turn in the Europa League. But I think going to Forest has messed him up. He plays a completely different style of football compared to Nuno, who obviously went to West Ham, who currently have 4 points on the board and is still in the relegation zone. But Wolves have been a team that have also been very widely struggling. They've got 2 points on the board, are in 20th position, and the manager has just been given Piera been given another 3-year contract, which is crazy. Even other managers have said it's crazy for you to be in a relegation zone and be offered a 3-year contract. Another team which have been doing incredible this season are Sunderland. They're ahead of Manchester United, ahead of Newcastle, ahead of Aston Villa, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Wolves and West Ham, which is really impressive. They've spent a lot this summer. They've got some really good players, and I think this year you're going to see a lot more of that. And I'm excited to see where they could go this weekend, when they play against Wolves. That could be a very important game, I think, for Wolves. If they lose that, in my opinion, I think that's going to be an even bigger blow for Nuno's side. But yeah, we'll wait and see on that one. We've got another good game, Brighton Newcastle. That's going to be interesting. We've seen how Newcastle have had a sort of a mixed start really in the league. They drew with Bournemouth 0-0. They won obviously in the League Cup against Bradford. They lost to Arsenal. They won in the Champions League luckily, and they won against Forest. But obviously they brought in some big signings as well. Wizard obviously being out for a bit of time as well. Wolfman already being quite a good player. But obviously they had the downside of letting Isak go to Liverpool. Now that's going to be big for this weekend. I think Isak is a player everyone is very interested in this Liverpool side to have a look at. Isak hasn't worked really at Liverpool yet. And for the amount of money they paid, and the Isak we saw last season just isn't there at the moment. Don't know why, but that'll be exciting to see today. And yeah, we've got really some quite exciting games such as Arsenal, Fulham. That'll be a good game. I think Arsenal will win that, in my opinion. Fulham having quite a good start, in my opinion. They lost sadly to Everton. They lost sadly to Villa. They won to Cambridge United in the League Cup, and they won against Brentford 3-1, which is quite impressive, I think. West Ham, Arsenal beat West Ham as well, 2-0. They won in the Champions League as well. They won against, obviously, Newcastle, like I mentioned earlier. Won against Port Vale as well in the League Cup. And also drew with Man City, which is a very good start for them. And obviously that's why in the table they are on top ahead of Liverpool. Liverpool obviously not having the best turnaround, we know that already. Obviously being 3 games on the bounce, but Slot's really going to have to try and win this game, in my opinion. 4 games on the bounce is just not good luck for champions, and I think they need to. I believe they will be out the title race, but I'm still excited to see where that goes with them. What other good games have we got this weekend? We got Man City versus Everton. Obviously, Jack Grealish can't play for Everton, so I feel like Everton are going to lose this match, and I believe this to be a Man City win, in my opinion. Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. That's going to be a very exciting game, but I can't tell you who will win that. But I think, in my opinion, Bournemouth will win that, and I think that'll be 2-1 to Bournemouth. Burnley versus Leeds. Bit of a championship game, but obviously we knew that was going to be the case this year. I'm going 1-1 on that game. And then Sunday we've got a big match then, obviously in Liverpool versus United, which we already have the preview on the channel, so please go and check that video out. And then we obviously have Spurs versus Villa. I believe Villa have struggled a lot this season, and I think Spurs will win that 2-1. And then on Monday Night Football, we have West Ham versus Brentford. Both teams are struggling in the league, but I feel like Brentford have the advantage over West Ham here. And I think that will be West Ham will lose that, with Brentford winning 2-1. And that is your days. Then we have obviously some Champions League football as well next week, which I will be doing a preview on Monday, if there isn't anything good that happens on the weekend. Okay, thank you for watching this short but sweet football news. I hope you have a good week ahead. Bye.